We are coming to you live from Diamond Field. It's the Giaa semifinal matchup between the visiting FPD Vikings and the Pacelli Lady Vikings here on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. Richard Holdridge here on the call. We are scoreless, approaching the 10th minute here in the first half. The winner will advance to the state championship on Tuesday at Stratford Academy. The other semifinal matchup, the other team from Columbus, Brookstone, is taking on Stratford Academy. There's Jelly Torres over to Izzy Ramos. Enriquez, middle of the field. Oh, nice spin move by Enriquez, getting out of traffic. Here comes Addison Burnett. That pass over to Jelly Torres. Torres trying to get it out of there. And that's going to go out of play, and that's going to be a throw-in for FPD. No, that will be a throw-in for Pacelli. Olivia Fry over to Enriquez with space. There's a pass intended for Christensen, and that back line for FPD, solid back line led by Hannah Davis, the senior. And FPD comes in with a 17-1 record. They absolutely demolished George Walton in the quarterfinal, 9-0. Pacelli as Jelly Torres, one-on-one with the keeper, and good defensive play there by Bella Fritz. Pacelli defeated Bullock Academy 4-0, led by 2 goals by Addie Christensen to get here to the semifinals. And that's going to be a throw-in for FPD. FPD, the number 4 seed. There's Abby Leslie with space. And stolen by Enriquez. Over to Camp. Here comes Mia Camp. She's racing off to the races, and that's broken up by FPD. Good defensive play by Caitlin Jackson, the sophomore. And Elsie Barrett. Touch. Ramos. And that was almost stolen by Addison Burnett, and that's going to go back to the keeper, Lochnick. Pacelli, the overall number 1 seed. Coming into this contest with a 14-2-1 record. They definitely have had the strength of schedule in the GIAA, playing a bunch of GHSA schools. It's Kalissa Williams on that far side looking across. Kalissa Williams, middle of the field. Enriquez could not play it. And then it's off to the races. There for Elsie Leslie. That pass was intended for her sister, A.B. Leslie, the freshman, and back to the keeper. This soccer match is brought to you by the Beck Center, Center for Academic and Athletic Excellence. Also Gordy Eye Care, Buffalo Rock, Kinetic Credit Union, and Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC.
No, she can't do that.
To that far side, and we're going to get a whistle. Looks like it's going to be a free kick coming up for FPD. Taking this free kick is going to be Lainey Jones, the senior striker. GIAA Soccer Championships for all classifications will be held on Tuesday at Stratford Academy. In fact, Bowen Matthews, the sophomore, is going to take this free kick, and Pacelli builds their mini wall. See if FPD can get on the board first off a set piece. They're in good position here. Well, this Pacelli defense has been solid. Bernardi hits a post. Let's see, Camp playing it, and it looks like Pacelli pushing it up the field. There's nobody back there. Good touch by Addison Kelly over to that back line. And here comes Elsie Barrett trying to control it. And cannot find a teammate, goes out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in for FPD. Looking to cross, still in play, and Pacelli's just going to let that one go out of bounds. Wasn't a whole lot you could do there. The boys bracket is going to be held on Saturday. Pacelli boys on the road taking on Tallulah Falls. We've got the Calvary boys taking on Stratford Academy. So between the boys and the girls bracket, we have got 4 teams from Columbus that are remaining, including both the boys and the girls from Pacelli. Addie Christensen, remember she had the 2 goals against Bullock. And that pass, you got to watch out for the offsides. Jelly Torres races to it, trying to control it, trying to get it to cross, and it goes out of play, and that will be a throw-in coming up for FPD. Addison Kelly doing the honors. The ref says you got to throw it right there at that spot. Kelly looking for a teammate. Torres is going to boot it out of play. Jelly Torres had one of the goals in that game against Bullock. In fact, she had the first goal. She's been the specialist for Coach Cochran when it comes to corner kicks. Pacelli, one of the favorites to win the state title, the overall #1 seed. But this is a tough matchup in the semis. That shot is deflected by Elsie Leslian, but Pacelli still with possession. Christensen pass it, intended for Calissa Williams, and she makes a shot, first shot on goal for Pacelli. And that is taken by the keeper, Hannah Kelly. Kelly is going to take her time, and she's going to punt this one out. Enriquez with a header. Plenty of space. We got Camp. Camp's going to dribble it. Challenged by the defender. Enriquez off the deflection. That header goes back to the keeper. And that's in midfield. Nothing but red jerseys. Presley Hildebrand, one of the key defenders for Pacelli, able to get that one. And that's going to be back over to Gracie Davenport. And throw in coming up for FPD. Pacelli trying to get the turnover. That was almost a handball by Abby Leslie. Pacelli's defense able to get another turnover. Burnett. There was just nothing there. And Davenport, Barrett, they're just going to let the keeper take that one. Torres and Kelly fighting for it. And FPD with a chance, but they don't have the numbers. Looking to cross. Trying to find open space, Caitlin Jackson. Leslie gets it stolen by Hildebrand, and she is off to the races. And that is deflected once again. Solid defense by FPD. Barrett playing it off the knee. Open space in the middle of the field for Olivia Fry, or Callista Williams rather. Now here comes Mia Camp. Camp racing, looking across. Mia Camp, and stops on a dime, and it goes out of play. That's going to be a corner kick coming up for Pacelli, the first corner of the match. And that is not going to be a corner kick. That will be a goal kick. Man, it looked like that was off of FPD. But ref made the call, and it's going to be a goal kick. We got a water break coming up here, live from Dimal Field, approaching the 20th minute of the match, scoreless in the GIAA semifinals on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Oh, I'm sorry. We're back here at Dimal Field, scoreless here in the GIAA semifinals. Winner plays in the state championship on Tuesday at Stratford Academy, 7:30. That will be on GIAA.tv. But we are privileged to be bringing you live coverage of the GIAA semifinals. Goal kick coming up for FPD. Off an impressive 9-0 win over George Walton Academy in the quarters. Enriquez with space. Pass over to Christensen. Christensen passes it back to Enriquez, and a little too much for her. Goes out of play, and a throw in coming up for FPD. Enriquez back over, and Christensen thought she had it, and that's going to be booted all the way to the keeper. It's just one of those plays where the defense just wants to try to regroup. One thing about Pacelli is they have good defense, and they know they're taking on a team that scored 9 goals their last match.
Sorry about that. Ladies and gentlemen, be advised, a black Cadillac Escalade tag TFF 8572 needs to be moved. Also, we have a black Kia SUV ARS 9422. The tags also need to be moved as well as the nearest. Thank you.
Possession. Bareth. Over to Davenport with a header. Free kick coming up for Pacelli. Elsie Bareth going to take this free kick. Bareth lets it sail. Trying to get a header, and there was good defense there by Alexia Econopoulos. 50-50 ball, and there's no room in there. Kelly with the keeper's ball. Pacelli trying to control it, and FPD comes up with it. See Pacelli trying to press, and there's the turnover. Davenport takes a little spin. Christensen's going to reset it back over to Barrett. That back line deflected by FPD. Laney Jones goes off of FPD and a throw in, and there's a steal by Leslian. Leslian trying to push it up. It's going to be a foot race to it. FPD's ball still. Looking across is A.B. Leslian. Matthews trying to cross, and it goes out of play. Got a pretty decent crowd here at Diamond Field for this semifinal matchup as these fans just trying to cool down from the heat. As we've had upper 80 degrees all day. Got a corner kick coming up for FPD. Still scoreless here in the first half here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Caitlin Jackson going to take this corner. And that's going to be a whistle and a redo. She'll get another crack at it. Pacelli will try to defend this corner. Got some movement in the box. Caitlin lets it fly. Right to the keeper, lost it. Still in play. The keeper tried to grab it, and it went off her hands. Luckily, it was off of FPD. There was really no space for FPD to put one in, and a goal kick coming up for Pacelli. And another throw in. Comes Addie Christensen. Pass deflected, taken by Bella Fritz. Enriquez. She is not able to get that possession, and it's going to go out of bounds. Davenport with the throw in for Pacelli, led by their head coach, Zach Cochran, who's also the flag football coach, who just won a state championship for flag football. He would love to try to get a championship here for Pacelli, as that shot on goal is right on target to Kelly. Addison Burnett had an opportunity. That's the second shot on goal for Pacelli, as they have outshot FPD 2-0. Enriquez, midfielder, over to Christensen. Addie Christensen with some space. Good, fancy footwork. Almost got it stolen. That's deflected by Bella Fritz. And here comes FPD. We've got Leslian. The pass over to Matthews. Back to Leslian. Middle of the field. That's Betsy Myers. Or Elsie Leslian. 50-50 ball. You got to get to it. And Elsie Barrett gets it out of play, and that was a huge play for Pacelli because the keeper was out of the box. And it'll be a throw-in coming up for FPD. Got to get this throw-in in. Trying to position herself is Matthews. And that took a bad angle and a goal kick for Pacelli. Leading goal scorers for FPD. We've got the sophomore Bowen Matthews with 6 goals, followed by Elsie Leslian has 2 goals, and Laney Jones has a goal. And of course, this is according to Max Preps, so they might be unofficial stats. back to the keeper as we are scoreless here in the 27th minute of the match. We'll play a 40 and take a break. And we'll have the second half. Definitely going to tap a water break in here as well. Jelly Torres over to Camp. Pacelli with the numbers. Mia Camp passes over to Christensen. She's got some space. Christensen staying with it. Oh, and she lost it. Dakota Heath, good defensive play. Davenport collides with the Pacelli defender, Econopoulos. The header, and here comes Abby Leslian. Over to Matthews. 50-50 ball, just off the mark. And the keeper was out of the box. Matthews with a shot on goal. Maybe a foot away from going in. Goal kick coming up for Pacelli, and Pacelli fans just a sigh of relief. That could have easily been 1-0. FPD. Lochnick was out of the box. And if that shot was on target, that would have been in the back of the net. Elsie Barrett going to take this goal kick. And it's a foot race to the ball, trying to keep it in play, and that's going to be a throw-in for FPD. And then they decided, no, it's not going to be a throw-in for FPD. It's going to be a throw-in for Pacelli. And what a steal there by Elsie Leslian. Well, FPD's got some pretty good defenders. They have been creating turnovers. There hasn't been a whole lot of space for Pacelli. Over to Enriquez. What a pass to Enriquez. Enriquez looking to cross. Setting up her teammates. In the middle, Torres up her 90, off the post, and that is in for a goal for Pacelli. Izzy Ramos. 30th minute, Pacelli's up 1-0 over FPD. That play was drawn up as it hit the post. Izzy Ramos on the rebound. Jelly Torres that's a shot attempt that hit the post. And Pacelli strikes first here in the match. Matthews trying to touch. Collides with Hildebrand. And they're going to call that one on FPD, and a free kick coming up for Pacelli. Gracie Davenport. Deflected by Leslie. Caitlin Jackson, and that will be a free kick for Pacelli. Winner will take on the winner of Stratford Academy and Brookstone. Could we have a rematch of the state championship from last season? As it was Brookstone and Pacelli. Brookstone came out on top last year. Pacelli trying to get back there with a chance to win the championship. There's Addie Christensen with space. Christensen deflected. Christian stays with it. And that was deflected. Here comes Hildebrand, or Camp. Mia Camp looking to cross. And that was deflected, but Camp gets it right back. Camp was played off the shoulder by Bronner Thomas. And then Abby Leslie back out to Vrabel. Throw in coming up. That'll be FPD. approaching the 32nd minute of the match. Here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, it's the GIAA semifinals between Pacelli and FPD. Two very familiar opponents in the GIAA. Oh, what a move there by Matthews. Bowen Matthews just couldn't find anybody. She had almost a goal earlier in the match. Leads the team with 6 goals. Elsie Barrett over to Enriquez. Or Addison Burnett, rather. Back out to Caitlin Jackson. Jackson. And that was a little too much on it. And Lochnick will patrol it. She will punt this one away. Header. Burnett. Izzy Ramos. And nice pass. Torres trying to get there. And it's right to the keeper, Kelly. Also Enriquez was there too. Camp. Looking for Matthews. Matthews with the header. If she could play this one, she'll have a shot on goal attempt, and that's the second shot on goal attempt by the leading goal scorer for FPD, Bowen Matthews. What's impressive is that she's got striking capabilities, and she is only a sophomore. Has 6 goals on the season for FPD. I want to remind everybody that this broadcast is brought to you by the Beck Center. We want to thank Roger Beck, the Center for Academic and Athletic Excellence, as we host Inside the GIAA shows. They've had press conferences. We had our Spring Sports Media Day there, our Baseball Media Day. They also perform physicals for youth sports. They have a film room, signing days, just about anything. And then, of course, an indoor facility, especially for the inclement weather. Hildebrandt back out, and Ava Camp. And back over to the keeper. Pacelli, they got a mixture of seniors and some young players. I mean, Gracie Davenport's an 8th grader, Mia Camp an 8th grader. Julia Singleton is an 8th grader. And Riley Walsh, and then Callista Williams. There's 3 of those 8th graders. Played a lot of minutes for Coach Cochran, and the future is bright for Pacelli soccer. Especially with the strength of the club teams here in Columbus with CYSC and Concord Fire South. They had opportunities to go play for club teams as well. Addison Burnett. That free kick out of play, and a goal kick coming up for FPD. And of course, it also presents opportunities to play soccer at the next level, especially with the success of Columbus State and Coach Antlich going to the Final Four last season. There's Enriquez with space. Passes over to the far side, Addie Christensen. Christensen with the touch, looking to cross. Passes it back over to Enriquez, trying to control it. Now back out to Burnett. And that is deflected and still in play. Callista Williams almost a handball. And then Econopolis was able to control that one. And back over to Matthews. Matthews is going to try to turn up the field. Trying to stay with it. Oh, what a spin move by Matthews. That was some fancy footwork. Oh, what a play there by Sophie Vrabel. Back over to Leslian. Stolen by Camp. But the ref is going to call the whistle as Camp had a foot out of bounds and a throw-in coming up for FPD. Pacelli leads 1-0 here in the GIAA semifinals for the right to go to the state championship on May the 27th at Stratford Academy. Back out to the keeper. Keeper is going to think fast. Here comes Callista Williams. Plenty of space. Nothing but green turf. Williams passes it over to Ava Camp, the freshman. Back out to the 8th grader, Davenport, Elsie Barrett. And a header almost controlled by Enriquez. FPD, once they control it, they want to just get it out of there, and that's exactly what they do. There hasn't really been a whole lot of scoring opportunities for FPD. There's a header by Torres. That just tells you that'll be a foul. That's going to be a foul on Pacelli. That just tells you how solid this Pacelli defense is. And you could protect with a 1-goal lead. This is what Pacelli, they know they could pin back on their heels and not give anything to FPD. But you also don't want to make a mistake that could cost the game-tying goal. Over on that far side, Laney Jones looking to cross. And keeper out of the box, and two players collide. Lochnick is going to help her teammate up. You don't want any of that. Whoever wins this match, they got a short turnaround. They'll have to play on Tuesday. Christensen trying to control it. Christensen on the touch. And lost it. Elsie Leslie and Christensen gets it back. No whistle. That was a clean tackle by Addie Christensen. And she's got space. Turns up the field. Being challenged by Caitlin Jackson. Now here comes Camp. Mia Camp, she's got speed up that right side. Camp looking to cross. Trying to stay with it, and FPD has no choice but to get it out of there. Throw in coming up for Pacelli. Just letting her kick that one. Addie Christensen with space. Christensen stops on a dime. Middle of the field, deflected. Back out to that back line. Matthews is there, but none of her teammates are there. Matthews, what a spin move. Interchanneling her Ryan Williams. Here comes Matthews. Matthews. That's another shot on goal, but it's right at the keeper. That's the one player you got to watch out for if you're Pacelli. Bowen Matthews, leading goal scorer, only a sophomore, but she has already displayed some level of talent. And that will do it for the first half. Pacelli leads FPD 1-0 on a goal scored by Izzy Ramos in the 31st minute. We'll be back with the second half here in the GIAA semifinals on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Get ready to smile. It's Truck Month at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Choose from a huge selection of brand new full-size Chevrolet Silverados. Discounted up to $13,750 off. New 2025 Chevy Equinox, the compact SUV that features high-tech options and discounts up to $5,000 off. You can enjoy no payments until July. People from all over the USA save at Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to smile.
I'm always on the go. But with the Kinetic Credit Union app, Kinetic is always with me. The Kinetic mobile app is virtual banking at its best. With the Kinetic mobile app, I can easily send and receive money, make a deposit, pay some bills, and I can even open up a new account, all from my phone. And I can monitor all my accounts in one place, all on the go. The Kinetic mobile app, energized banking at its best.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
My name is Quinteria Perry, and this is my CVCC story. I've graduated from CVCC with my associates in medical assistant, and I received my certification from CVCC. The training that I got from CVC and being prepared to come and do clinicals helped tremendously. I started looking at scholarships, and the Ambassador Scholarship was interesting to me because you did events to earn your scholarship and you meet people. I would recommend CVCC to anyone that asks because of the scholarships, the teachers, the small stuff that you can't get at a university.
Get your grills out this summer with Pepsi, the official beverage of Grills Night Out.
Here they come! Truckloads of fresh inventory to Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Choose from a huge selection of full-size GMC Sierras, discounted up to $13,250 off. New GMC Terrains, the popular SUV known for its safety, technology, and performance, is discounted up to $7,500 off. Enjoy! No payments until July. People from all over the USA save at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
My name is Sergeant Jason Swells, and this is my CVCC story. Class sizes were not too large. The professors in each class had time to talk. It was almost like a one-on-one experience. CVCC did prepare me for my career. They made sure you knew the subject before you walked out of the class, before you took the test. They dedicated 100% of themselves to it. I could say for anybody who's deciding or thinking about going into criminal justice, CVCC got my vote all day long because they're on top of their game.
Even though I'm away at college, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Hi, my name is Griff Gordy, and here at Gordy Eye Care, we have been serving the Bi-City community for 17 years. As a former state championship quarterback, I love the fact that I can watch local high school athletics from the comfort of my own home. So it was a no-brainer to support Georgia-Alabama Sports Live and what they do for young athletes in our area.
And without business like yourself, Gordy Eye Care, none of our coverage would be possible. To be able to cover these 16 different high schools, the local colleges, and professional teams. So we'd like to say thank you to you, Dr. Griff Gordy, and Gordy Eye Care for your support of Georgia-Alabama Sports Live. And then you can make an appointment today at Gordy Eye Care with the number 334-291-5125. Keep supporting Gordy Eye Care and keep watching Georgia-Alabama Sports Live.
Get ready to smile. It's Truck Month at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Choose from a huge selection of brand new full-size Chevrolet Silverados, discounted up to $13,750 off. New 2025 Chevy Equinox, the compact SUV that features high-tech options and discounts up to $5,000 off. You can enjoy no payments until July. People from all over the USA save at Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to smile.
Start of the second half here from Diamond Field. The GIAA semifinals on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Pacelli leads FPD 1-0 thanks to a goal by Izzy Ramos. Assist by Jelly Torres. And FPD's going to kick it off to start the second half as Bowen Matthews will do the honors. Winner advances to the championship, which will be held on Tuesday at Stratford Academy. The other semifinal matchup, Brookstone and Stratford Academy, is going on right now. We'll try to get a score update if we're able to. And FPD is going to be going from left to right this time. And that's a steal by Enriquez. Takes a little back spin, and that goes into FPD's favor, but then tracking it down is Burnett. And it took a bad deflection. Addie Christensen with a spin move. And Caitlin Jackson trying to pass it over to Vrabel. And that will be a throw-in going the other way for Pacelli. Callista Williams trying to get it over to Camp. Matthews with the touch. Over to Jackson. Good deflection there by Elsie Barrett, and now it's a foot race. A.B. Leslie and Barrett trying to get it over to that back line. Touch by Jackson. Over to the far side. Back to Jackson. Jackson trying to control it and passes it over to Leslie. Leslie takes it back to the middle of the field. And now Leslie's going to turn the corner. And now here comes FPD with space. Plenty of space. Do they have a shot attempt? Shot, and that is in for a goal with the equalizer. And FPD has just tied the game. Is that goal, I believe, scored by Hannah Davis to make it 1-1. And that was just drawn up on just skill. They got a break, was able to get a turnover. And, they were able to take that one in to start the second half. It's a 1-1 game. When we talk about these two,
please be advised, there's still a black Cadillac Escalade.
These two teams
even a warning that
evenly matched.
Tag TFF 8572. Say again.
I believe that goal was scored by A.B. Leslie.
Black Cadillac
Because of where her, but there was a lot of players that were grouped over there. I'll have to get the official score on that. Yeah, a little collision by Matthews and Williams. And here's an opportunity here for FPD. Leslie looking to cross. Looks like we got an offsides. Ref called that immediately. Sophia Vrabel looked like she was offsides. Free kick coming up for Pacelli. 1-1 score here in the GIAA semifinals, live from Diamond Field. Camp trying to control it. We got a whistle and a free kick for Pacelli. Hope you're enjoying this Thursday night as they move this game from Friday to Thursday. This match brought to you by the Beck Center. Thank you to Roger Beck. 50-50 ball and right to the keeper, Hannah Kelly for FPD. Over to Leslie and with a header. Out of play, throw in for Pacelli. And there's Dave Platt over there to hand it off to Jelly Torres. Dave Plata getting footage for his multimedia class. FPD, good defensive play, Bella Fritz. And now here comes FPD, Matthews and Hildebrand. Back out to Leslie. Matthews. Callista Williams with the steal, and Williams, nothing but space. Christensen, some more space. Enriquez, if she could play this, turn it up the corner, reset the offense. Enriquez looking to cross. Back over, spin move by Christensen. Addie Christensen controlling it. Back over, Ramos just off the mark. That would have been her second goal. Easy Ramos. Goal kick coming up for FPD. Ramos with that striking capability fired a missile towards the goal. Pacelli trying to get it back. Addison Kelly controlling it. Back over to Leslie. Throw in for the Lady Vikings. We've not had that many corner kicks in this match. Have not had any fouls, no yellow cards. It's been a clean match between two evenly matched teams. As that is stolen right midfield, and here comes FPD on a breakaway. Two players I think they just got tangled up, but the ref is going to blow the whistle. That might be on Mia Camp, but it looked like the players just got tangled up. There'll be a free kick coming up for FPD, Alexia Ekonopoulos. Will kick it approximately 20 yards outside the goalie box. Lets one fly, and it sails right to the keeper. Easy play for Lochnick. She's going to punt this one away. High sailing, arcing punt. That tries to get controlled there by Torres, or Ramos, Izzy Ramos. And that goes out of play, and a throw in coming up for Pacelli. Christensen staying with it. Addie Christensen, shot, and that's in for a goal! Addie Christensen makes it 2-1 Pacelli. And she let that one fly. It went over the keeper. Perfect angle. Is that goal scored in the 47th minute? Gives Pacelli the 2-1 lead. Pick it up where she left off in the game against Bullock when she had 2 goals. And Callista Williams with a turnover. What a steal there by Williams. Middle of the field. That's Caitlin Jackson. Barrett with the touch. And it's stolen by Leslian. Trying to push it up to her teammate and sibling Abby Leslian. Matthews with the header, nobody there, keeper's ball. FPD led by their head coach, Seth Burkelbel. You can see him pacing the sidelines, just knows he wants to practically have a home match on Tuesday. The goal is to get to Stratford, as FPD just a couple of miles down the road. It's a 50-50 ball. Matthews with it. Matthews, that's it for the goal! Bowen Matthews just ties it with the equalizer. And her 7th goal of the season. The sophomore sensation makes it 2-2. This is a high-scoring soccer match between two evenly matched teams. You talk about an FPD team that put up 9 goals last week against George Walton. Strength on strength. You got the high-powered offense of FPD, and you got the defense of Pacelli. Something's got to give. And we are knotted up at 2 apiece as that goal was scored in the 48th minute. We've had a total of 3 goals in the second half already. I was not expecting a high-scoring affair. Torres. Over to Enriquez. Christensen. And out of play and a goal kick for FPD. This soccer match is brought to you by the Beck Center, Gordy Eye Care, Kinetic Credit Union Buffalo Rock, and Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC. And that kick just took a bad angle, goes out of bounds, and a throw in for FPD. The other semifinal match at Stratford Academy, Brookstone and the Lady Eagles of Stratford. That is happening right now. Pacelli would like to get back to the soccer championship as they were there last year. Here comes Caitlin Jackson. Jackson with some space, and that's swallowed up by the Pacelli defense. Good job there by Olivia Fry. Torres. Like Jelly Torres playing that midfield position. Kind of plays more like a striker, but Coach Cochran's got her in the midfield. Got Enriquez and Flores. Or Izzy Ramos, rather. Front line. Burnett. And here comes Leslie Matthews with a touch. Matthews. And Calissa Williams gets it out, and Burnett. FPD has come out aggressive here in the second half. Callista Williams, the 8th grader, turns up the field. Almost taken away by Leslie. Enriquez looking across. Resets. Back over to Ramos. Burnett. And taken away by Yanakopoulos. Over to Caitlin Jackson. Jackson, a foot race with Torres. Torres. And Barrett helps out and just kicks it out. That took away a lot of momentum from Caitlin Jackson. We do have a whistle. We got some subs coming in for FPD. It is Amelia Galloway checking in for the very first time for FPD. Matthews with a touch, trying to get there. And a good job there by Williams to get it out of there. Header. Played off the foot. Barrett clears it out. It's a foot race. Enriquez, no offside call. One-on-one with the keeper. Enriquez, and that's in for the go-ahead goal for Pacelli. Gabriela Enriquez. 52nd minute of the match. And Pacelli leads FPD 3-2. That was a world-class ball that got to Enriquez. Right place, right time. She made sure she wasn't offsides, and it was just one-on-one with a keeper. Now Pacelli with possession. FPD sails it. Back out to Leslie. Pacelli gets it back. Camp passes it over to Torres. 50-50 ball. Ramos, rather. 50-50 ball. And it's going to be the keeper ball by Kelly. A very good 17-1 record for FPD, but they were the 4 seed, possibly because of their strength of schedule. Stratford, the number 2 seed, and the Keens Academy was the 3 seed, upset by the 6 seed Brookstone. And coming into the game for Pacelli is Ava Shaw. An additional sub. Another 50-50 ball right back to the keeper. But one thing about FPD, they know how to respond after giving up a goal. That pass in for Ramos. Izzy Ramos! And that's her second goal of the game, and Pacelli leads 4-2. And now FPD, what are they going to do? They're down 2 goals. That was in the 54th minute. And Pacelli now leads 4-2. 2 goals scored by Izzy Ramos. She had the first one. That was almost stolen. And here comes Izzy Ramos. Can she get the hat trick? Pass for Enriquez. Back over to Ramos. And that's going to go off of FPD. Throw in coming up for the Lady Vikings. Callista Williams is going to take this throw in. Enriquez, Addie Christensen, she's also got another goal for Pacelli. And Gabriela Enriquez has the other goal. Burnett. Back line over to Barrett. Barrett, a little lob pass. 2 players collide, no call. Christensen stays with it on the touch. Christensen, some fancy footwork and a spin move by Econopolis. You got a whistle.
You can't do
You
that.
got an injured player.
You're a referee for Pete's sake.
So they actually are stopping the clock. There's no stoppage time here in GIAA soccer. So we will stop the clock too. You got FPD 17-1, Pacelli 14-2-1. Pacelli was the overall number 1 seed because of their strength of schedule. And here comes Mia Camp. Camp, Enriquez, 50-50 ball. That pass might have been too much for Enriquez. Otherwise, Mia Camp had a perfect assist. That could have put a bow on this one if Pacelli was able to get a goal there. They're already up by 2. Hard to come back from a 2-goal deficit, but FPD is going to have to find a way to chip away at this lead. And back to the keeper. Pacelli was up 1-0 at the half. FPD tied it early in the second half. Pacelli took the 2-1 lead. FPD tied it. And then 2 unanswered goals by Pacelli to make it 4-2. Davenport, another talented 8th grader. Over Over to Enriquez. Gabriel Enriquez with the touch. Tried to save it, goes out of bounds, and a throw in for FPD. We were here last week as Pacelli defeated Bullock Academy 4-0. 50-50, takes a backspin and goes out of play, and if Ramos could have controlled that, that would have been a hat trick. But it'll be a goal kick for FPD instead. And it's going to be a goal kick. Christensen makes a spin move, got space. Addie Christensen, shot attempt right at the keeper. Hannah Kelly caresses it and now is going to punt it away. Camp with a header. And racing to it is Addison Kelly, and we'll have a throw-in coming up. We are live here at Dimel Field, the GIAA semifinals between Pacelli and FPD. The winner will take on the winner of Brookstone and Stratford Academy, which is taking place right now. And we do not have a score update. Throw in for Pacelli. Nothing but white jerseys, and they'll end up cleaning that one up. Still Pacelli ball. Davenport takes a deflection, goes out of bounds. Throw in Pacelli. This game is brought to you by the Beck Center, Gordy Eye Care, Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, Buffalo Rock, and Kinetic Credit Union. Glad to be here, Georgia Alabama Sports Live. As Addison Burnett lost it. She was trying to find space in the middle of the field to try to maybe get a shot off. And Elsie Leslie in over to Matthews. She's got one of the 2 goals for FPD. Matthews tries to take on 2 defenders and lost that battle as Hildebrand comes up with a turnover. Now Callista Williams dribbles. Nice pass to Enriquez. Enriquez looking to cross. Saves it. Turns up the field. Back over to Williams. Callista trying to split 2 defenders, and Caitlin Jackson is right there to clean it up. Barrett races to it. Christensen lost the handles. And now here comes FPD, and Christensen almost got it. Matthews stays with it. Long pass over to the near side by Lainey Jones. And that's going to be a throw-in for Pacelli. A good defensive play by Ava Camp. Kind of breaks away momentum that FPD had. They can make things interesting if they can get a goal here. Down 4-2. Camp trying to control it. That's actually still going to be in play. Tracking that one down is Bella Fritz, and a throw-in for FPD. And we are actually going to step aside here for a water break. So we'll be back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Pacelli leading FPD 4-2 here. We'll be back. All right, welcome back to Diamond Field here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We've entered the 60th minute of the match, and Pacelli leads FPD 4-2. They are 20 minutes away from punching their ticket to the state championship, which will be held at Stratford Academy on Tuesday night. Addie Christensen. To touch. Back over to the back line, Elsie Barrett. By the way, we do have a score update. Brookstone leading Stratford Academy 2-1. A big shout out to Stratford's boys soccer coach, Ian Jones, for providing that score update for me. You can catch him on Inside the Giaa. He is our soccer correspondent. You know, he's got a tough matchup taking on Calvary Christian. I think that game's being played today. I'll have to find out. Addie Christensen. Christensen trying to stay with it. The FPD defender just boots that one out. That's a good play there by Hannah Davis. I believe Hannah Davis has got the second goal by FPD. We do know that Bowen Matthews has got one of the goals. The Pacelli boys are going to be traveling on the road to the northeast corner of Georgia, taking on Tallulah Falls. I believe that game is going to be Saturday. It is scheduled for Saturday. This game was supposed to be Friday. They moved it to today. FPD trying to get it out of there. Trying to save it was Laney Jones, and that'll be a throw-in for Pacelli. Camp. That's going to roll out of bounds. And a goal kick coming up for FPD. So they actually will play, Calvary Christian will play Stratford Academy later tonight, 7:30. So they're hosting a doubleheader. Right now, Brookstone leading 2-1 over the Stratford girls, and then Calvary Christian will be taking on Stratford 7:30 tonight. So the game will be done after the conclusion of Brookstone Stratford. Bella Fritz, Enriquez looking across. Enriquez with space. Enriquez. Shot, goal! Goal! Gabriela Enriquez, her second goal, and it's 5-2 Pacelli. That might have put a bow on this one. They have scored 4 goals in this second half. You talk about a scoring output. This match was 1-0 at halftime. Davenport, good steal. Enriquez lost her footing but stays with it. The header by Fritz. Camp, she's got space. Mia Camp stops at a dime. Back over. Ramos, deflected, Enriquez. Oh, that's just off the mark. It was tipped. Pacelli saying that should be a corner. And look who it is, the corner specialist, Jelly Torres. for Pacelli. 5-2 is your score. Could we have a rematch of the championship game last year? As if that Brookstone Stratford score holds up. Could be seeing Pacelli Brookstone Part 2. Header in the box, out of play. And that'll be a goal kick coming up for FPD. You've got to give credit to the Pacelli defense, only giving up 2 goals to a team that scored 9 last week. Caitlin Jackson trying to control that. The header by Davenport. And a throw-in coming up for Pacelli. As we are at the 65th minute of the match. Time is not on FPD's side. They're going to have to come up with some goals and come up with them quick. Back to the keeper. That's a dangerous pass back to the keeper. Luckily, the keeper had her head on a swivel. That was Ava Camp. Can FPD try to get one? Matthews, shot, and that's going to be a huge save by Lochnick. It looked like that was going to be Matthews' second goal, and that will be a corner coming up for FPD. A diving save by Anna Lochnick. Keeps this a 3-goal lead for Pacelli. FPD, Jackson, got it stolen. Jelly Torres, she has got open space. Pass over to Enriquez. Enriquez with a touch, looking to cross, turning up the field. Can't she get the hat trick? Enriquez over to Christensen. Addie Christensen loses her footing but gets it right back. Free kick coming up for Pacelli. You had the contact there by FPD. Pacelli can feel it. All they got to do is just eat time off this clock to try to punch their ticket back to the state championship. A shot at redemption. Christensen right at the keeper. As that was a laser to Kelly. And that's stolen by Pacelli. Davenport, good job by Callista Williams with space. Callista Williams dribbles. It looked like she wanted to take a shot. There's Camp. A lot of playing time for the 8th graders. Enriquez, or that was Burnett. And Davenport trying to save it. And we do have a player cramping up, so we'll go ahead and keep it here, as this soccer match is brought to you by the Beck Center. I want to thank Roger Beck, the Center for Academic and Athletic Excellence. I also want to thank Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, as we will have a live show there on Memorial Day. Also, Gordy Eye Care. Special thanks to Dr. Griff Gordy for supporting Georgia Alabama Sports Live and local athletics in the Chattahoochee Valley. Also want to thank Buffalo Rock and Pepsi, all the Pepsi products that you love. Mountain Dew, Starry, Pepsi, Pepsi Max. And of course, Gatorade. And also want to thank Kinetic Credit Union. We are live here at Dimel Field. Approaching the 68th minute of the match. Don't forget, tomorrow we've got a doubleheader, games 1 and 2 between Brookstone and Tatnall Square in the GIAA baseball semifinals, as Thrift Behringer will be on the call. Saturday, we've got game number 2 for Columbus United FC and Dothan United. And that will be at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium. And then we got the Columbus Lions final regular season home game on May the 31st against the Wheeling Miners. And that will officially close out the month of May, as we got even more stuff for the month of June. Camp trying to control it. Burnett lost it on a deflection. Now back over to Davenport. And that's a handball. Free kick for FPD. They're racing up the line. That is Anakamopoulos. Header by Barrett. A good touch there by Camp. Here comes Mia Camp. Racing to it. Out of play. Good defense by Hannah Davis. And we got a throw in for Pacelli. And Callista Williams is going to take this throw in. And Camp, you got to watch out. You realize that throw in was coming in her way. Matthews controls it. And now Matthews with a spin move. Matthews with space. Leading goal scorer for FPD. Can she make a play? And we got some players tangled up. That's Hildebrand and Matthews. And Hildebrand saying, I don't know, we just got tangled up. That was not intentional. But Matthews is going to take this free kick. We are approaching the 69th minute of the match. Remember, they play 80 here. 2 40-minute halves. No stoppage time. They do stop the clock on injuries and water breaks. Matthews lets one fly. Deflected. Matthews with a touch. Matthews sails it into the box. And right to Lochnick. She pushes it up to Callista Williams. Williams with space. Good dribble. Turns it up the middle of the field. And that pass over there to Ava Camp. Camp over to Jelly Torres. Torres regroups and then kicks it up the sideline to Enriquez. And here comes Enriquez, a little bend and curl. Back over to Ramos. Burnett. Getting tripped up. There's a shot on goal. No, that's going to be a deflected header by Camp. And over to that back line, Callista Williams with the touch and lost her footing. And a turnover for FPD. Matthews back over to Vrabel. And we're going to get a whistle. Looks like it'll be a free kick for FPD. 71st minute of the match approaching. Time is winding down here in this GIAA semifinal. And that's going to go right to the keeper. Georgia Alabama Sports Live, like the Facebook page. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Oh, and that was just a bad collision. That was Izzy Ramos and Bella Fritz. They were both going for the ball. That's going to be a yellow card on Izzy Ramos. And sometimes you got to call it. That was not intentional by Ramos. Ramos is going to have to exit the game. High school rules, when you get a yellow card, you'll have to exit the game, but she is not kicked out of the game. And if she has one more foul, it will be a red card, and they will play a person down. We will have a sub coming in. Caitlin Jackson going to check back in for FPD. And Anakablis with the free kick. Header by Christensen. Over to the back line. Matthews, little bicycle kick. Matthews trying to stay with it. Matthews, shot right at the keeper, Lochnick. And I'll tell you, Matthews is one of the most dangerous players in the GIAA, as she can let one fly from any angle on the field. And a good job by Lochnick getting the save. That's her second big save for Pacelli. You're talking about, this could be a 5-4 game because of those saves by Lochnick. And we got a little push right there by Sophia Vrabel. And the refs did not see it. Yeah, a little chippiness between these two schools. Of course, a lot's at stake. I mean, this is a semifinal match for a chance to go to the state championship. Callista Williams is going to throw this one in. Yeah, that's going to be stolen by Vrabel, but it's off her foot and back to Pacelli. Enriquez and Bella Fritz racing to it, throw in Pacelli. And if you have throw-ins, this is exactly where you want throw-ins. Unfortunately, the ref reversed it. No, they didn't. That was just Bella Fritz giving the ball back to Pacelli. We're seeing it over in the corner. Got a big crowd here at Diamond Field. We're glad you're watching us on Georgia Alabama Sports Live's Facebook page and YouTube channel. Be sure you subscribe. Caitlin Jackson over to the back line, takes a back spin. And Elsie Barrett Jackson off the side of her foot. And that looked like a glorified pass over to Lainey Jones. And Matthews, nothing there as she back-footed that one. And it's going to be a throw-in coming up for FPD. 74th minute of the match. And Burnett. Addie Burnett. And lost it. Enriquez comes up with it. And Akamopoulos just could not handle it. And now Enriquez, little bend and curl. She's got teammates. Enriquez. Good footing. Back over to Burnett. Quickly doubled. Keeper's ball. Little spin, Burnett with the header. Caitlin Jackson, open space. That pass intended, Sophia Vrabel, and we got an offsides. Vrabel out there playing with a lot of intensity. Knows how important this game is. FPD has had a fantastic season with a 17-1 record, but they are the 4th seed, and we know how tough it is to play on the road against a Pacelli team that's been battle-tested, plays GHSA schools. They play AHSA schools. That's AHSAA. And of course, in a very tough region. Now it took a deflection. And Christensen with a touch. Christensen, little spin move. Addie Christensen with space. Christensen, oh, what a pass to Enriquez. Enriquez with a chance for the hat trick. Back out to Jelly Torres, looking to cross, and that shot is off the mark. Just didn't quite have the angle. And it will be a goal kick for First Presbyterian Day. Over to Camp. Controls it. He's got a double team on her. Back over to Ava Camp. And back to the keeper. 76th minute of the match. We are winding it down here. FPD knows they have got to score 3 goals in 3 minutes just to tie it. There's an opportunity here. Vrabel 50-50. A little push and shove, but the refs are going to let that one slide. These players are leaving it all out here on the field. Before this soccer match, we could have possibly had an all-Macon final or an all-Columbus final. Whether or not that lead by Brookstone holds as Matthews, upper 90, out of play. And that goes into the Pacelli dugout on the baseball field. And a goal kick coming up for Pacelli. If that score holds, Brookstone leads Stratford 2-1. We'll have an all-Columbus final. A rematch of the 4A championship last season. Two of the biggest rivalries. Definitely one of the top rivalries in Columbus for private schools, but as far as rivalries for all the schools in Columbus, it doesn't get any better than Brookstone and Pacelli. And it looks like we may have that final if that score holds up down at Stratford.
Thank you, ref.
And that's going to be a yellow card on Callista Williams. So she will exit the game here with about 2 more minutes left to go as we approach the 78th minute. And coming into the game will be Ariana Valenzuela. As Elsie Barrett going to take this throw in. And there's a header over to Econopolis. Christensen with a header. Leslie got it deflected by Camp. Econopolis. Davenport tracks it down and gets in a collision with Debbie. Matthews. Pass over to Leslie. Jackson with space. Jackson, shot attempt right at the keeper. As we are approaching the 80th minute of the match. As we are down to the final minute. Matthews already has a goal today. Shot on goal. He's got about 5 shots on goal. Some of them have been on target. Just an excellent striker, leading goal scorer for FPD, and she's only a sophomore. We'll see her back here. But congratulations to FPD, a fantastic season. But it looks like it's going to come to an end for First Presbyterian Day. They wanted that all-Macon final. They wanted to be there just a couple miles down the road from Stratford Academy. But it's looking like their season is going to end today here at Diamond Field as the seconds start to wind down. Pacelli fans can start to celebrate. And the Pacelli Lady Vikings are headed back to the GIAA State Championship. They've got a chance at redemption. Take on the winner of Brookstone and Stratford Academy. Right now, Brookstone was leading 2-1. What a performance. As the Alex Quinney All-State Good Hands Player of the Game, I'm going to give it to Izzy Ramos. I know Gabriela Enriquez also had 2 goals. Izzy Ramos scored the first goal, and she also had a goal later in the second half. Addie Christensen had a goal. Remember, this game was 1-0 at the first half. And then FPD scored one to tie it at 1-1. Pacelli made it 2-1. FPD made it 2-2. And then 3 unanswered goals. And Pacelli runs away with this one to punch their ticket to the state championship. Tuesday night at Stratford Academy, 7:30 on GIAA.tv. I want to thank Toygar Isla for being the producer extraordinaire for this broadcast. This puts a bow on the soccer season on Georgia Alabama Sports Live as we await to see who Pacelli will take on in the championship. Will it be an all-Columbus final? Will Pacelli take on the host team, Stratford Academy? We'll find out later this week. So for Toygar Isla, I'm Richard Holdridge saying so long from Diamond Field. Once again, the Pacelli Lady Vikings are headed to the state championship after defeating FPD 5-2. Have a great night, everybody.